1, 2, 3, 4.
Look at it, look how green it is. You can see absolutely everything.
If I fell in love with you,
Ain't the light right?
close your eyes.
Can't buy me. Wait. I'm gonna tell it, Mary, about Uncle John.
Straight after that is Matthew Street, that's where you'll find the Cavern Club.
Hey Jude.
That's the rainy day. Right.
That was last night's venue. Why is this
barrier
up?
is now up, blocking the entrance into Albert Dock and Salthouse Dock, because they're going to open the Seagate onto the Mersey, and the idea is that this barrier here will maintain the level in the other docks, while this one in front is open to the estuary, and that will go up and down. So when they're opening I call them the sea gates, they raise these barriers to protect the rest of the basins.
Wow. This makes Limehouse look like a small lock on the Oxford Canal, doesn't it? Size of that. Where are we?
Wow.
What are we looking at, Jan?
We're looking at the Wirral. I haven't seen it for, 47 years? That's quite emotional. I don't recognise any of it though. There's a ferry.
Ferry across.
The Mersey.
Cue for a song.
Ferry across the Mersey.
That's enough. Copyright.
Oh wow, look at all the keys. The padlocks.
So behind me here are the Three Graces. That's the Royal Liver Building, the Cunard Building and the Port of Liverpool Building. It is assumed this group of buildings are named after the mythological Greek Three Graces, who were the goddesses of charm, beauty and creativity. Going back to the beginning, St George's Dock was built in the late 1770s, the third port to be built in Liverpool, but as ships became bigger, this dock proved too small to be useful and was more or less retired. By the 1900s, this had been filled in and the Three Graces stand on that infill. Today, these three iconic buildings on the waterfront define Liverpool's skyline, as well as the Pier Head area, but there is more to them than that. The Port of Liverpool building, 1903 to 07, was put out to tender. Originally, this rectangular building, destined to become the headquarters of the Mersey Docks and Harbour Board, had 8 octagonal towers, yet the board felt it needed something more to make it stand out. That was why a dome, originally planned for a Catholic cathedral which was never built, was added. The Cunard building, 1914 to 16, was designed by Woolnick and Thickness, along with the help of Arthur J. Davis. This edifice is said to be inspired by the grand Italian palazzos along the waterfront in Venice. This simple-looking squat building is deceiving. Inside are grand wood-panelled rooms, Corinthian columns, and even marble-lined toilets, although quite why someone thought it useful to line such an item with marble remains a mystery. The overall idea for inside the Cunard building, apparently, was to make this feel as if you were on one of the Cunard's grand liners, hence the elegant columns and panelling. The Cunard building provided refuge as a Second World War air raid shelter, and being on the docks it was an ideal location to keep shipbuilding blueprints. Finally, the Royal Liver building, started in 1908 and finished in 1911, was the tallest building in Europe when it was completed, at the impressive height of 90 metres. It also boasts the biggest clock face in England, and yes, it is bigger than Big Ben's. The designer, Walter Aubrey Thomas, topped the Royal Liver building with a copper dome and added mythical copper liver birds crowning each tower. Legend has it that one bird watches over the city to protect the inhabitants, while the other looks out to sea for incoming ships. The myth surrounding these important birds also states, and here was the problem, that if one bird should fly away, Liverpool would be no more. Although the Blitz on Liverpool caused severe damage around the Three Graces, they all survived, and the birds remained on their nests. The pier head where the Three Graces are is part of Liverpool's UNESCO World Heritage Site, and a trip to Liverpool isn't complete without a walk along the spectacular waterfront to admire the Three Graces. After all, they are the goddesses of charm, beauty and creativity. Just like me, really. Oh no, sorry, Jan. The good thing is, you can take a trip up to the top of the Royal Liver building. So we did.
They are in fact the second largest clocks in the UK, losing out the first place on a technicality and 0.8 inches. In the Irish Sea, down to the right of us there. It is brown every day of the year. That's not because it's dirty though, it's just a very silty riverbed. You can actually see the true colour of the water in these river channels down here, bright blue and crisp. You will be able to spot the Mersey ferry. Generally quite a difficult vessel to miss, in fact. Its iconic paint job was designed by Peter Blake, the same man who co-designed the cover for Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Sorry, Jan.
I live the other side.
Look the other side of where?
Of the Wirral.
So what we're looking at here?
Well, we're looking at the River Mersey and the Wirral where Birkenhead is and Canal.
What else? Yeah, and what's beyond there? The hills in the distance?
Oh, they're North Wales. But if you go the other side, you've got all the beautiful... Well, New Brighton's on this side, I think, further up. But you've got Thurston and Hoylake, and it's lovely. And I might get on a little bus and go over there. I'm thinking.
Jan's getting the view again.
I'm in the same place, aren't I?
You're in the same place, but you're a bit higher.
Oh, yes.
You can see the mountains up Wales.
Steve's just been explaining all about Tranmere.
Tranmere?
Not Tranmere Rovers. But to do with the, what did you, Esso Shell? What was
Shell,
it?
he used to work for Shell.
And how they took it down to Stanlow. Which is way down there.
Right. We go further down there.
They couldn't get the big ships into here. So that's Tranmere oil. Have you shown them where we live? Can I show our home?
Oh yes, we're somewhere in there. Somewhere in there. Okie doke. We're somewhere in there.
This is fabulous. Look how green it is as well.
You're enjoying the view?
Oh yeah. Look at it. Look how green it is. You can see absolutely everything. All the tourist spots and everything. It's such a clean city.
In front of the Three Graces and by Albert Dock, there are a number of City Explorer hop-on, hop-off buses. These Explorer buses allow you to get on and get off wherever you like. There are numbered stops where you can get on and get off to see the various sites and attractions you most want to see without having to stay on board. I've put a map on screen so you can see some of the locations where the buses start and stop from.
On the left of us, you've got a greenish glass building, that's called 20. That's where Liverpool Football Club have got all their admin staff on floors 8, 9 and 10. So Everton Football Club are in the Liver buildings on the 7th floor. Liverpool Football Club are in that greenish glass building called 20. So a lot of the buildings were actually flattened in this part of the city. We did manage to save the front fascia of Exchange Street Station, which is just on the left of us. The rest of the building was destroyed.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
Good God.
Now back in the day, if you had enough money, you could have anything you liked on your building as long as you could pay for it. They invented their own saint. There is no such thing as Saint Prudence, the patron saint of long distance travel, but there she is, just above the door. So she's like the Go Compare man, she's just missing the curly moustache, it's just an advertising feature. So as we go through these lights in a second, on the left hand side there's a red brick building. Little shop at the bottom called Cool Britannia. Straight after that is Matthew Street, that's where you'll find the Cavern Club, and that's where the Beatles played 292 times in less than 2 years. But they didn't drink in the Cavern Club. The Cavern Club didn't sell alcohol, they only sold soft drinks. They didn't have a licence for over 10 years. It's about halfway down, it's on the right, it's £5 to get in. There is live music on every day. And then right next door is the Hard Day's Night Hotel. If you look up, you see the statues of the Beatles just above the first floor. They're all dressed in their different outfits from what they went on to do after the Beatles, and so the statues are called Together Again. We've got a statue of Queen Victoria, that's where Liverpool's castle once stood till 1725. She's been there since 1906. It looks great from the front, not so good from the side. So she's known in Liverpool as King Victoria for that reason. So if you're around this way later on, just go to the side of that statue and take a photograph. It looks like she's got something a little extra. Apparently the artist was not a royalist, so apparently he did it on purpose. That was originally the Bank of Liverpool. That's where we used to print our own money. Some people still do, but that's a different bus tour. Those little pigeons are a temporary art feature. They're called the uninvited guests. The real pigeons won't land on the window ledges while those pigeons are there. Cathedral on the right, known in Liverpool as Paddy's Wigwam, the Pope's launching pad, or the Mersey funnel. Any one of them three. Nobody calls it the Catholic Cathedral of Christ the King. It just takes too long. The crypt of the cathedral comes right up to the edge of the road. That's the only part you pay to go in. It's £5. It's made up of 6 million bricks in the crypt. Currently closed due to the graduations of the students that are going on. It's been closed all week. So bus stop number 6 is coming up next.
Where's it? I can hear bells. It's not you two, is it? It's not you two.
Where is it coming from? It sounds like it's coming over the other side. Are they real?
Yes, they are.
Yes. So,
We've actually seen them.
How many bells? It sounds like loads of them. 12? That's a cacophony of sound, isn't it? That's a big word as well. That's the word of the day. Cacophony.
You're hearing them in the worst possible location, because where the bell tower is, you'll see louvers in the windows, and that projects the sound out, not down.
Right, yeah.
So
We need to be further away.
If we were half a mile away, you wouldn't be able to talk.
Right.
So
first impression. Can't see anything.
Take your bloody sunglasses off and you tit.
I haven't got my other, well, I have got my other glasses. It's massive. All these years I lived on the Wirral for 11 years, and I never once been in here. Look at it. Look at the stained glass windows.
It's quite emotional for you. Come back here.
I know. I've recognised Lewis's only because the naked man.
The naked
on the
man.
front.
What was his name? John Lewis? No, not John Lewis. That's somebody else.
Dickie Lewis.
Dickie Lewis. Because
And
of
I
his...
remember the Empire Theatre and the Everyman because I danced and sang at those. And if I'm right, I saw Elton John when I was 13 at the Empire. So my old college is gone. But it's just so lovely. I just can't get over how spotless the stone is. It's immaculate. It's massive.
We've come outside for a little bit of R&R. It's quite what do you call it, isn't it? Hard work walking around, sightseeing.
We've only been here 5 minutes. Yeah. No, it's time for coffee because we've brought our own sandwiches with us. So we're just going to get something to drink, really.
Atop. Right, we've got fruit scone, and the dilemma is, do we put the jam on first or the cream?
Oh, there's absolutely no dilemma. It's the jam first.
The jam, because
Jam
the
first. Jam first for Steve and for Chris.
I think it's jam first for me as well.
Jam first.
actually.
And for Smudge, he doesn't give a monkeys. Anything will do for him, but not fruit, thank you.
Jam first, because if you've got thick clotted cream, you
Look
can't
at
put the jam on top of the cream.
Smudge's tongue is dribbling.
Mine is, never mind Smudge.
Your what? Your tongue's dribbling, is it? The Maritime Museum is located in a former bonded warehouse, part of the historic Royal Albert Dock built in 1846. The Merseyside Maritime Museum, as it was originally known, opened in 1980. The museum tells a story of one of the world's greatest ports and the people who used it. The museum's collections reflect the international importance of Liverpool as a maritime gateway to the world and examines the city's role in the transatlantic slave trade and emigration. It's open Tuesday to Sundays 10 till 4 and admission is free. One of the many displays on show inside the museum is that of the Titanic. She was registered in Liverpool and so carried the city's name on her stern. Although she never visited the city, Titanic had strong links with her home port. The Maritime Museum's collections tell the story of the ship's connection with the city and how its loss impacted the people of Liverpool. The RMS Titanic is perhaps the most famous shipwreck in our current popular culture. She was British registered with the White Star Line that was owned by a US company in which famed American financier John Pierpont J.P. Morgan was a major stockholder. Titanic was built in Belfast, Northern Ireland by Harland and Wolff for transatlantic passage between Southampton and New York City. It was the largest and most luxurious passenger ship of its time and was reported to be unsinkable. Titanic launched on May the 31st, 1911 and set sail on its maiden voyage from Southampton on April the 10th, 1912 with 2,240 passengers and crew on board. On April the 15th, 1912, after striking an iceberg, Titanic broke apart and sank to the bottom of the ocean, taking with it the lives of more than 1,500 passengers and crew. The displays in the museum show artefacts from Titanic and those who worked and sailed on her.
We both hope you've enjoyed our short time around the beautiful city of Liverpool.
Well, some sights we've seen, hasn't there?
Oh, absolutely wonderful.
And it's all brought back some memories for you, hasn't it, Janet?
Oh yes, I'm old now.
So until next time, don't forget to give us a thumbs up for a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and then when you have subscribed, press the bell icon.
Ding!
Thank you, Janet. Or as they say in Liverpool, thanks, our kid. And YouTube will let you know next time we upload a vlog. Thank you to our supporters on Patreon, Buy Me a Coffee and channel members. If you want to join them, there's details down below in the video description. In the meantime, stay safe, happy cruising, bye for now. Bye.